Hello, my name is Marty Windle and welcome to the SBL Guru podcast. This is another episode in our series Strategy in Real Life, where we take elements of the SBL syllabus and we try to apply them in real life organizations. So today what we're going to be looking at is a topic that many students find quite difficult, and that is the BCG matrix. Now in the exam, normally they will indicate they want you to talk about the BCG matrix because they'll ask you to assess the portfolio of the company. So whenever you see that word portfolio in the exam, they normally want you to use the BCG matrix as the core model. What we're going to do is take the BCG matrix and apply it to one of the world's largest consumer goods companies, which is a company called Unilever. Now you might not have heard of Unilever before, but you will know the products that Unilever has. They do manage a vast portfolio of different brands, which I'm sure you'll be familiar with. So let's do a quick recap on the BCG matrix, the Boston Consulting Group matrix. That it has two dimensions. It's got market growth. How fast is the market growing? And that can be high or low. And the second element is relative market share. Now, it's not market share, but relative market share. So it's relative to the market leader in the market as a whole. So to get that number, you need to divide your market share with the market leader's market share. Anything greater than 1 would be regarded as high market share. So basically you take your SBUs, strategic business units, or your brands or your products, and you put them into the portfolio as a basis of assessing your portfolio. So let's look at the first quadrant of the BCG matrix, and that is star products. Star products have got a high market share in a high growth market. Now in the Unilever portfolio, we can talk about the brand, which is Dove. The personal care and beauty brands are very popular in the market and they're experiencing consistent growth. So I'm sure you may have come across Dove soap. There is a rising demand for sustainable and premium skincare and hair care products, and Unilever has established strong market positions in this sector, making them a crucial investment area for Unilever. So every element of the BCG has a kind of strategy that you should follow if your product or SBU is in this sector. And if you are a star, you need to invest heavily and grow and maintain your market leader position. How does Dove do this? They invest in R&D and they are continuously innovating their product and spending a lot of money on marketing to sustain their market leader position. They're also trying to improve the product constantly and looking at areas like sustainability and eco-friendly products. They recently introduced sustainable packaging for Dove products to cater for the eco-conscious customer, further strengthening their market position. So if you're in a star position, you need to invest in that product or strategic business unit. Next one is a cash cow. Cash cows, they're going to have a high market share, but in a relatively low growth market. And for Unilever, a classic example of this would be their Hellmann's mayonnaise product. These products generate steady revenue, but operate in mature markets with limited growth. They tend to have strong consumer loyalty and a dominant market position. Now, the good thing about a cash cow is cash cows, hence their name, they generate cash flows for the business. And what you're going to do is you're going to take those cash flows and invest in other products in the portfolio. This strategy is called harvest. And in harvest, you minimize investment, but try to maximize cash flow. Maintain the strong distribution network and brand loyalty without spending heavily on innovation and advertising. So what Unilever has done is they've focused heavily on cost-saving initiatives like streamlining their supply chain for its food brands in order to maintain profitability. So you're going to take those cash resources from your cash cow business, from the Hellmann's mayonnaise business, and invest them in other areas of the portfolio. So you use your cash cow to fund other elements in the portfolio. The next element we're going to talk about is the question mark products. Now, question marks, they are products where there is a high growth market, but that your market share is relatively low in that market. For Unilever, a good example of this is the Vegetarian Butcher, and that's Unilever's plant-based food brand. Now, plant-based food is a really big growth market globally at the moment, but the Vegetarian Butcher is still building its market share. The goal of this sector is to try to push your product from the question mark into the star position. That's what you want to try and do. The strategy is to build your market share. How are you going to do that? You're going to invest in product development, you're going to invest in marketing, and you're going to invest in partnerships. So recently, Unilever collaborated with Burger King to offer plant-based Whoppers in several countries. Now, not every question mark is going to become a star. So some of those question mark products, if it doesn't work, if you can't gain your market share, you're going to divest those products. So it's a calculated risk that comes with managing question marks. The last element in the BCG matrix is going to be dog products. I'm sure you're familiar with dog products. Dog products or dog strategic business units are the ones with a low market share and low market growth. They tend to be a cash drain on the business. Now, for Unilever portfolio, that is their tea business with brands like Lipton and PG Tips. Now, this market has been experiencing slow growth due to changing customer preferences. Customers are generally moving away from tea towards coffee, herbal teas, and other beverages. It led to declining sales in the traditional tea brands. They also faced intensive competition from smaller niche players offering premium and organic options. The normal strategy you've got in your BCG, if you've got a dog, is to divest, get rid of it, move out of the market. And that's what Unilever did. They chose to divest their tea business to a private equity firm called CVC Capital Partners in 2021 for 4.5 billion euros. This allowed them to exit a stagnant market and focus on the higher growth businesses in their portfolio, like plant-based foods and personal care. Now, you won't always divest your dog. You may try to reposition it, try to revive the dog, or you may return it because it's got some synergy with other products in the portfolio. So how will they ask it in the examination for SBL? In SBL, they will normally give you some information about market share and market growth and ask you to decide on the strategy. So you've got to work out what is the position in the portfolio. Is it a dog? Is it a cash cow? Is it a star? And then they're going to ask you, how are we going to manage the portfolio? So if you've got a star, spending money on marketing. If you've got a dog, thinking about divesting that product. The most important thing is there's going to be marks available for proper management strategies which link to the case in the examination. So overall, as a company, what you must try and develop is to develop a more balanced portfolio. Some cash cows, some stars, some question marks, and no dogs. So let's just sum up the key takeaways from the BCG matrix. What we've got is BCG is used to manage your portfolio in your business by categorizing brands as stars, cash cows, question marks, or dogs. Stars require heavy investment to maintain growth. Cash cows, you're going to use it to harvest, use that cash flow to fund other areas. Question marks, the goal is to push them into the star position. If it doesn't work, you can divest them. Dogs, often divested, but in certain circumstances you may keep them if it's got some synergy with other products in the portfolio. Hope you found this useful. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the podcast. If you need help with your SBL exam, I do run a number of courses which are online and they can massively help you to get a pass in the SBL exam. Just go to www.sblguru.com and you can find out all the information about my online courses. Thank you for listening, and don't forget, have a good examination.